is truly my honor and privilege to bring up William Jefferson Clinton.
Hello, there it is. Folks, you can hear I'm pretty hoarse. You gotta forgive me. Here's why I'm so hoarse. As compared with the last time I did this years ago, all the early states started 3 weeks later. And then when you vote on Super Tuesday, it's 3 weeks earlier. So all these states are packed in, and we're all talking too much. So forgive me. First, Principal Nanette Coleman, thank you for welcoming me here to this historic school. Thank you, Dr. Anthony Marshall. I want to thank the High Step and T-Connection Band. And the faculty, staff, students, and alumni. I want to wish both the boys and girls basketball team good luck in your playoff game today. And just 2 weeks ago, this school won the state academic bowl. We ought to give them a hand for that. So I thank State Representative Jeannie McDaniel and Senator Matthews. You gave a great talk. Thank you very much. And I want to say a special word of thanks to Bill John Baker, the chief of the Cherokee Nation. What he said was true. Hillary got all the Native American tribes together. And I kept hearing all across America when I was running it, we made it, people would say polite things to the tribal leaders, and nothing ever happened. So I said, just bring them in, and we'll sign a contract, and I'll have to deliver. And we've been doing it. And shortly after that, this is an important story for today. That's why I'm telling this. It's a kind of a metaphor for the fix and the promise we're in today. So shortly after that, I said, when's the last time every tribal leader in America was invited to the White House to meet the president? The answer was 1824. So I said, I think it's high time we did that again. So the leaders of more than 550 tribes made their way to Washington. And we had a grand day on the south lawn of the White House. The wealthiest Americans were the tribes that had gambling. They flew in on private jets. The poorest Americans were in remote rural Native American tribes where they had to pass the hat to collect enough money to buy a plane ticket. But they all came. And why am I telling you this? Because everybody wanted the best for the founding peoples, but not everybody had the best. So when President Obama gave his last State of the Union address, boy, that was a pretty speech. Really it was. He said, look, I know we got problems, but don't be afraid. Our economy is performing better than any other big economy. We have 14 million jobs in 5 years. That's the most we've had since that other Democrat was president, whatever his name. And he said, Look, for the first time in our history, we got 90% of our people with health care. That never happened before in the whole history of the United States of America. And he said, we're in the best position for the future. I mean, look at this crowd. As compared with all other big countries on earth, we're younger and more diverse. We come from everywhere, from all backgrounds, all religions. And it's a strong thing to have in a world where the borders look more like nets than walls. We got the best system of higher education in the world. We have the strongest science and technology base. We've got great capacity in agriculture. And according to the latest scientific surveys, we belong to a party that still believes in science. So, according to the latest scientific surveys, we rank first or second in the world in the capacity to generate energy from the sun and the wind and other clean sources, which helps everybody. Texas, known as the oil capital of our country, your neighbor, is one of 3 states in America that gets a third or more of its electricity from the wind, even when the politicians aren't talking. One of those 3 states, Iowa, is the only place in America with 20 feet of topsoil. So they use that power to bring in a crop. They have the lowest electric rates in America. Don't let any of these Republicans who deny climate change tell you we can't make money out of this. Listen to Hillary when she says, if you vote for me, I'm going to put up 500 million solar panels in 4 years. We can't have those jobs anywhere else. And we're going to have so much wind power with it that every American home will be powered by clean energy that we own, that nobody can take away from us, and we're going to create millions of jobs. Now, why is that important? Because when President Obama painted that beautiful picture of our future, there was mixed feelings in America for 1,000 reasons. But people of all backgrounds looked at that picture and they couldn't find themselves and their kids in that picture to save their life. You agree with that? So that's what this election's about. The president told you the truth. I work all over the world with my foundation. We sell the world's least expensive AIDS medicine in 70 countries. We do work with farmers in Africa and Central America. We bring energy projects to the Caribbean. We do a zillion things. And I can tell you, if I were just 25 today, I'd like to be. But anyway, if I were just 25 and you said, I'll let you live anywhere you want when you're 50, but you got to decide right this second, I would take the United States in a heartbeat. It's not close. It's not close. The job of this election and the reason Hillary's running for president is to put every single American in the picture that the president painted in the State of the Union address. So we don't leave anybody out. We don't leave anybody behind. Hillary says over and over again, we can only become our best if every American has a chance to make the most of his or her life, his or her dreams. We have to rise together. That's what this election's about. Everything else is background music. And what do we have to do? First, we got to grow together, which is why these energy projects are important. It's why it's important that we bring back advanced manufacturing. You wouldn't believe it, man. I love traveling around all over this country, and I go to these high schools. I got these 3D printers, 15-year-old kids doing things that I couldn't do to save my life. We've already brought 900,000 manufacturing jobs back since it crashed. Already. We're going to bring a lot more. But we've got to be deliberate about it. And we have to sell things to other people, so we have these agreements. But you need a president that won't let people work around her. I always believe that if somebody makes a deal with you and they don't keep it, there need to be consequences. You got to enforce the trade rules. You got to say you can't manipulate your currency. If we open our market to you, you got to open ours to yours to us. And if you don't do it, Forget about it. That's what you have to do.